Okay, let's talk about a quiet superpower. It's something that some of the most intelligent and effective people out there use, a lot of the time without anyone even noticing. We're talking about privacy intelligence.
You know, we live in this world that's constantly telling us to share more, to build our personal brand, to put it all out there. But have you ever stopped and noticed that some of the most successful, most accomplished people, they do the exact opposite? They stay private. So what do they know that the rest of us don't? That's exactly where we're going to start. We're going to try to solve this puzzle, what I like to call the riddle of digital silence. Why is it that in an age of nonstop broadcasting, some of the smartest people choose to just stay quiet? I mean, let's be real. Our digital lives have basically become a stage. From that perfect vacation picture to the big career update, we're always fine-tuning our experiences for an audience. An audience of friends, sure, but also family, colleagues, and even total strangers. It's like this performance that just never, ever ends.
And all this pressure to perform, it kind of pushes us down one of two very different roads. The first one, and it's the most crowded one, is the path of digital validation. That's where our sense of self-worth is all tied up in likes and shares and comments. But there's another path, the path of internal clarity. And that's where your value, your direction, it comes from inside you, not from a screen.
And that second path, the one of internal clarity, well, that leads us right to the big reveal, the central idea that really solves our riddle. And that idea is privacy intelligence. So what is it, really? Well, think of privacy intelligence as both a mindset and a skill. It's this powerful, powerful understanding that your story is yours to control. The less you reveal, the more authority you actually have over your own narrative. It stops other people from getting to define you.
Now, I want to be super clear about something. This has nothing to do with becoming a hermit or hiding from the world because you're scared. In fact, it's the total opposite. It's an active, confident strategy. It's about self-possession, about owning yourself, owning your story, and owning your focus. So the big question is, how do you actually get this skill? Well, it really comes down to mastering 3 core ideas, or pillars, that all work together. So let's break them down one by one. All right, pillar number 1. This is the foundation for everything else. It's all about rewiring where you get your validation from by building what we call intrinsic self-worth.
And what's so fascinating here is the contrast. You see, a lot of us operate with what you could call external mirrors. We need other people to reflect our value back at us to feel good. But the goal here is to build internal clarity, where your sense of self is solid, it's stable. You don't need to post about an achievement to feel like it's real because your worth, it isn't up for public vote.
Now, once you've anchored your self-worth on the inside, this next pillar gets a whole lot easier to put into practice. It's about consciously managing something called the audience effect. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. People with privacy intelligence make a conscious choice to opt out of that 24/7 performance. They get that constantly being on for an invisible digital crowd just drains your energy and kills your focus. They simply refuse to let their life be run by what they think other people might be thinking. And that brings us to our third and final pillar, which is maybe the most practical one of all, and that is mastering the law of diminishing returns. This is where you start to treat your personal information like the valuable asset it really is. Just take a look at this chart. When you first start sharing, the benefits are pretty high. Connection, validation, but there's a tipping point. And after that point, the risks of oversharing, being misunderstood, being judged, losing control, they start to grow way, way faster than the benefits. Privacy intelligence is simply knowing where that tipping point is for you.
Okay, so we've gone through these 3 pillars. What does this all add up to for you in your life? Well, it boils down to one incredibly powerful idea: taking back control of your own story. So if you remember one thing, let it be this: privacy isn't some wall you build to keep people out. Think of it more like the editor's chair. You are the director, you're the author, you're the editor of your own life story. You get to decide which scenes get shared and which ones are just for you. Now that is real power. So let's quickly recap the superpowers you get with privacy intelligence. First, remembering that your worth is not up for a public vote. Second, you are the curator of your life, not just the subject of it. Third, you get to choose what parts of your story to share. And finally, and this is so important, true power often lies in what you strategically hold back. And all of this leaves us with one last, really essential question to think about. In this world of constant sharing, what part of your story, your goals, your struggles, your biggest choice, what part is sacred? What part is just for you? Really thinking about that, that's the first step to becoming the master of your own narrative.